yoni.text, and I say here. So copy it in the direction where I am. So if I type LL now, you can see yoni.text at the bottom. Now I can do this, guys. I can do cat, and I enter that name. It shows me everything in that file in one long line. It goes from beginning to end. That is a command. Now, the opposite of that will be more. Guys, if I do more, and I do, oops, just hang on. I do more, and Y. One way to watch. 19%, if you look at the bottom there. So it displays, it scrolls through that file, just like cat does, but it doesn't go all the way to the end. It displays one page at a time, okay? So if I hit one space bar, it goes one space every time until it shows everything. What was that? What command was that, guys?
The cat, we're working with the cat.
More. Woohoo.
Oh.
So number 13, guys.
More. I have a question for you, if you don't mind. What is the difference between make dir and the touch? Can you use the touch?
No, touch doesn't make a dir. Touch can make a regular file, okay, but there will be nothing inside the file.
Okay.
Or you have a regular file that was updated last year and you want it to look like it was updated today. You can touch that file. Okay. And the date stamp on the file will change.
Okay, thank you.
That is the date the file was made or edited.
Prof, I see a similarity here too. Maybe I'm mistaken between this cat command and the V. You remember we use the V file. You put the file name, which you can see.
V file.
The V command, and you put the file name, whatever file you use.
Oh, VI.
Yes.
Yes, but that one is editor. You go in there to change stuff.
Oh, yes.
With
yes.
cat, you don't change anything. You only see, just display stuff on the screen. And more, guys, more does what? Output contents of a file. I'll say this, of files, first 10 lines. Oh, it's actually written down there. Oh, no, I'm writing in the wrong place. Okay, more. File output the contents of a file. Oh, what you need to know about this is it does that one page. Does that say more? Yes, one page at a time.
So I think the cat, Prof, the cat there, shouldn't it be output because it's similar with more? It's just how much.
So in this particular case, right?
Yes.
It is input because I'm going to show you. Let me show you since you ask. So it's like this. If I type LL, oops, Control C, LL. The big file in this file list, typing LL, I can see the sizes of the files here. So my big one is this one called Yoni whatever, right?
Yes.
Now, I can cut that file. See, I can do cut. I enter that file. It will show me everything in that file without stopping. But I can also do this. Cut that file. I said, don't show me, but I want you to put this inside a file called, let's just call the file zzz.txt. Okay, we're just playing some fake names.
Okay.
It doesn't show anything.
Yes.
It doesn't show anything, but watch this. If I type LL, do you see ZZ now has the same size like that file?
Yes.
So
it has put the content there.
Whatever is inside this file is now inside that ZZ file.
Okay, got it.
But if I want to see what is inside ZZ, I would do cat, but I'm not going to use that sign. You see the sign?
Yes.
When you use that, means that thing is called a redirection. It takes it redirects the output of that command somewhere. And in this case, it's supposed to be into a file. So if I do that cat Z there, it will show me exactly what was in cat Yoni.
Perfect.
What idea?
Thank you.
Okay, sir. Oops, gotta move a little bit faster here. 15. More, guys. More. When you do more, guys, you see the file one page at a time. But if you do this other command, just 1 second, guys. This thing misbehaved. If you do head, it shows 10 first lines. Tail shows the last 10 lines. So it's written here. Output first 10 lines, last 10 lines. Then, if you do that one that we talked about yesterday in class, if you type tail, it's the same tail, but now you do -F. Then you give a file name. When you do that, it means you are declaring that the output the contents of file as it grows, starting with the last 10 lines. It means this, guys. I showed you guys this yesterday with the alert lock. Okay? Tail -F. It's let me just spend a little bit of time here for the last time for all of you guys to see this. So watch this. I'm here, but I want to switch user to Oracle because I know I should be Oracle to play with the database on this machine. So if I do SU space -Oracle, it will ask me for the Oracle password. If I enter that password, and now the user called Oracle. You can see that, right? I can type who am I. It will tell me you are Oracle. Now if I type LL, what's in here? It's a bunch of things in here. But I need to look at the alert log with tail -F. Typically, that is the file that we all look at. And I showed you guys the other day, to go to the alert log, it's Oracle base at Oracle base DIAG something. But I created my alias for it called TRC because it's a trace file. So you can see now I'm in the location of the alert log. So if I do LL space A star, show me all files that begin with an A. It shows me that only one file in that directory has the name that starts with an A, and that's your alert log. Okay, if I want to see the last 10 lines of this alert log to know what my database has been doing, I would do tail. Let's say I want to see the last 20 lines. Tail -20 A. That displays the last 20 lines, and now I know I have an error in my last 20 lines because you can see them there in red. And I want to see what the beginning was. Now I'll do head. Let's do head -5. Alert. Shows us the first 10 lines. And looking at that, you see the second line there, or actually the first line, it gives us a date. 2021 06 21 T something. That is how you use head, tail, and all of that, okay? But I don't have anything now to do on tail. Otherwise, the tail usually goes something like this. Tail -F, and your alert log. Then it will just hang like that, and any error that occurs, anything that happens in the alert log will be displayed right away. So it's like that file is live. You enter any entry in the real file, it's going to display on the screen. Let's go. That was number, as a matter of fact, because that particular is so important, I make that number 13, guys. Everybody make sure. No. I'm going backwards. Just hang on, guys. Hang on. So I had number 13, number 14, number 15, and tail minus F, I make this one number 16. Then there's a command called PS. So that will be our number 17 for the day. What does PS command do? They say this one display your currently active processes. Does way more than that, guys, way more. And the one that you should know as a DBA is a command like this: PS minus EF pipe grep Aura dash, I think. No. Grep, you put a background process. We're going to study those very soon. SMON, to see the database running on your machine. The other one of these commands that you should also remember would be the one to check for your listener. So you do that one at the top, guys, to check for name of running database. Now the other one command I should know will be PS minus EF pipe grep TNS. So if you run that command, what you're saying is you want to get processes. You want to get processes that have TNS. Oops. That have TNS as part of their name. Guys, so what is that? The two PFs or PSs. Those are the two you would always want to use. So it goes like this, guys. So I can do something like this. Control C, exit. PS minus EF pipe grep SMON or PMON. I could enter any of those mandatory background processes. PMON, hit enter. This tells me that there's one database on this machine, and that database is called, or the instance name is class T. You are always going to have this second line where it means nothing. Just ignore it. Okay? Or the command PS minus EF type grep PMON or SMON. Now, if I need to know what is there a listener on this machine, I don't know. I would do PS minus EF type grep TNS. Yes, a listener is running. You see, the TNS is part of the name of the application, and that's the name of the listener. So there's a listener here running from Oracle 11G, and the name of the listener is listener. That's what that gives me. Oops. Now we finish the basic Linux commands. Oh, let's just see again. I think I still have some. Yes. That was number. Hey guys, that was number 17. Top. Okay. Number 18 is top. Top, guys, display running processes. And number 15 will be kill. You can kill anything. So you type kill, you give the process ID. PID, guys, stands for process ID. So let me do the top and the kill, and you guys see how they work very quickly. So coming here, guys, everybody watch here. I have a listener running, and this is the PID of the listener. So I can do here. Enter that number. Hit enter. If I do PS minus EF again, listener is gone. You see that? I just killed the listener. In other words, I stop the listener. Now, I want to see all processes running on my machine. I type the word top. T-O-P. Enter. Top opens up. And in the class, guys, when you get to performance tuning, I'll give you some notes which you will use to, you're going to read those notes and you'll be able to explain all of this, okay? But just to give you a clue, there are 4 users connected to this machine, and the machine has been up for 21 days. And there's 472 tasks on the machine, but only one is running right now. And for memory, that's the memory we have in this machine. And swap space is that. What is swap space? Swap space is simply an area on the hard drive reserved to be used as memory. It's like temporary memory. So the 2 big things in a database, that memory and that swap space. And you come further down, it shows you the processes running, and they are being refreshed like every, let me see how often. Like every 10 seconds, every 5 seconds, this thing is being refreshed. Cool. I want to quit that, just type Q and you quit. Out. Cool. Let me see here. That's killed that guy. Okay. What number was that again? What number was killed, guys? I did not put a number. That one is number 19. Let's go to number 20. Then we're done with the Linux commands, and I leave the rest to you guys. Date, guys, shows the current date. Cal shows the month's calendar. Uptime shows how long the machine has been running. W shows who is online on the machine. Who am I? It shows you who you are logged in as. And finger user, that one doesn't work for Linux. I don't know why. Then uname minus A. That one shows the kernel information. That one often will ask you to send them your kernel information. Oracle may ask you, you type uname minus A, copy, you send it to them. And if you want to know more about your memory, you can cut /proc/CPU info. If it's for memory, is memory. Let's go down. Oh, then this is the man command that we talked about right at the top, right? That one was our number 1. Now, what number are we on now, guys? Somebody help me. Who's following this class? What number am I on now?
We should be 20.
Okay.
Number 20, guys. Everybody gonna write me down this one if you're not writing. Type me DF. DF shows disk usage. Okay? And the right way to do it most of the time, you type DF minus H. DF minus H. And that H, we say the H is human, stands for human readable. And now, this you say, let me just show you how you guys watch CDX. Hey, people, DF. And see what it does? It shows me some stuff. See, file system means the hard drives, okay? These are the disks on this machine. And kilobytes, amount used, amount available, and all of that. Just DF. But guys, the real thing is to type DF space minus H. Hit enter. It's more readable now. So you see here size. 1.8 gig. You come further down, there's a 50 gigabyte. Okay? And used, available, mounted on. These are the ones everybody sees this mounted on. Okay? We don't have to worry about the things that are not mounted. So if you check here, guys, you're going to see something like U01, U03, U05, U02. All those are mount points. Guys, remember they call them mount points? Because they say they are mounted on. So these mount points have to do with the installation of Oracle. Let's go back to something else. I think I'm like 30 minutes behind. So guys, everybody write me that df minus h, please, please. If your database gets stuck, maybe it's running out of space, that's the command you run to see if the database is doing good or not. So guys, number 21 command. What's our number 21? Is du. What is that one, guys? Same like df, but this one shows directory and space usage. So there is some difference between df and du. And for that df, always remember too, the right way you always write to be df minus, no, what du? Du space minus h. This usage goes like this. I think that could be the last one I kind of display. I think this is taking more time. So guys, if I type du and I hit enter, it will look for every file. But in this case, what it did was this. It calculated the entire size of all files inside this machine and it gave me the size, right? But if I do this, I add the minus h to it, hit enter. See now, instead of just displaying this size, it says it's actually 278 megabytes of files inside here. That's what du would do. It looks at the whole system and then it gives you an idea. Let me type pw, I want to see where I am. Okay, we go back to my home directory. Yes, I'm in my home directory. So let me type that du minus h. Okay. I was wondering why I didn't show this. So when you type it, right, it starts from where you are and it goes in and gives you the size of every file on that from the directory where you are. Okay? Just from that directory. Let's look at every file and tell you how big the file is. Cool. Let's go to next. The du. Hey, that was number 21. Guys, your number 22 should be free. When you type free, right, it's same like you type top. What does it do? It shows you your amount of memory and amount of swap space. Same thing that top showed you. Then you can use this command here. Let's do our number 23. Where is 23? Where is app? So if you type that, right, you know what Linux will do? It will show you the location of app. Show possible locations of app. Like you log in, right, and you're wondering, where is Oracle installed? Where is this in my machine? You can do something like this. Where is SQL Plus? Hit enter. It will search and it will tell you where SQL Plus is located. See, it tells us SQL Plus is located in 12.2. You see, it gives us the full path all the way to the bin directory. Cool. Oh, which app also does the same thing. Let's see here. So guys, instead of typing where is, right, we can type which SQL Plus. It does the same thing. Where is app, which SQL Plus, they will all do, it will tell you it will tell you from where that application is running. Cool. So we did that one too. Then, number 24 is the tar command, guys. What does tar do? Tar creates a tar named file.tar containing files. So in other words, guys, this one command here, if you say tar xf file.tar, oops, I'm highlighting the wrong spot. Up here, tar cf file.tar files. What you're doing is this, guys. You're creating a file called this name, file.tar. And it will contain files called maybe files in the folder files. That's what that thing does. Guys, notice the heading, compression. We use this to zip and compress files together. Then, the next one. See the next command, guys? It is the same command, but it has a minus xf. I'll make this my number 25. What does that one do? That one, see, people, one of them extracts, the other one compresses. So this one here, oops, extracts. While tar minus cf, the one at the top, creates. That one creates a tar file. If you want to unzip that file, to break it up, extract the files that are inside, you use tar xf. Okay? Then, we can also use the same tar, but with czf. When you do that, that one creates a tar with the gzip compression. Gzip is the same like WinZip, okay? Cool. Then if you need to extract that same file, you type the same command, but you put xzf. Okay, cool. Maybe, let me show you guys a little bit of that. Let's run this command, the first one at the top, so you guys can just have a feel of what it is. So guys, watch here. LL. Oops. Control C, LL. LL. So if I type LL, you can see I have many files inside this folder. Many. But now I want all these files to zip them and send them to somebody. Okay? If I need to, I can use the tar command. So I do this, tar. And I would then, let me call this, let me just call this BT. Means I want to create the tar file will be called BT, right? BT.tar. Or let me just put my files .tar. Space. I have to give the file name. But since I want all the files, I will do this. I put star. Means all the files. Hit enter. Let's do LL. I want to see. Did it tie it? No. Just hang on 1 second.
Prof, I'm not missing the CF.
Oh, thank you, my dear.
Okay.
That's the main command. C there stands for compress files. Is it compress files? Hit enter. It's building that file now for us. And after that, I just do LL. I should see the file. Whew, that's a big file, is it? LL. You can see the file up here, and it's a big file. See that? That's a big file. Yep. If I need to extract that file, I'll type the same command, but instead of CF, I'll type XF. Okay? Cool. Let me remove that.
Prof, in the command to compress, I see a star at the end of it.
Oh, the star was, I mean, all. Star means everything.
Ah, okay.
Star means all those files. Because I didn't want to be picking them one by one.
Okay.
So I removed that. Yes. So file is gone. Let's see number 25. So we've seen number 25 there. I won't even do the other one. Let me see if there's anything else. Yeah. Okay, 26 is, yeah, we'll put 26 here. Is when you use CZF because you want to use what we call gzip compression, okay? Not a big deal there. And let's go to, what was that, number 26. Let's go to file permissions. File permissions, this one will be number 27 command. Everybody must know the 27 command is change mode. CHMOD. So you do change mode, octal. Octal there means some numbers. You give the file name. So once you do that, what happens? Means you change the permissions of file to octal, which can be found separately for user. So guys, you change it separately for users, a group, and the world by adding. So guys, this is the catch here. When you change permissions, 4 represents read and R or R, and 2 is W or write, and 1 represents execute. But most importantly, if you add all these numbers, the real trick in it is that we are going to use all of these numbers together. If you add all of them, it gives you the number 7. So if you give somebody the permission 7, it means the person can read, write, and execute in the folder or the file that you've given them. Okay? Read, write, execute. This is so key. I want everybody, guys, everybody write me change mode, octal file name, then you simply put 4 equals R of 2 equals W, and 1 equals X for execute.
Prof, I have a quick question. What's an octal file?
Octal is these numbers here. And file is the file that you're changing the permissions. So, now, before I leave this section, does everybody know what it means to read a file? What does that mean? If they say read a file, you have permission to read a file. Because if you don't know that, this whole thing will make no sense. Stanley, do you know what it means to read a file, to write on a file, or to execute a file? Stanley, I got 2 Stanleys. Stanley, are you online? I don't hear, nobody hears you if at all you're speaking. Hello. Who does not know what it means to read a file, or to write on a file, or to execute?
I guess you can re-explain it just to make sure I know the correct definition is in my notes.
I could have passed this thinking that you know, but nobody knows. Nobody knows. And it can be very confusing that we talked about this a month ago, and nobody can still explain what it means to read a file.
Isn't to read a file to like open up the file and look at it, but not like edit it or change it at all?
Absolutely. Absolutely correct.
And to write on a file means to edit it and like change its contents.
Yep.
And to execute means to run the file.
Yep. Let's say the file was to send an email. Means you can run that file and send the email. Or if the file was to make some directories, means you can execute or run that file to make the directories. Thank you. Guys, the rest of you, I've passed this thing, I've gone through this like 3 times in class. Guys, let me tell you guys, it is the basics like this, right? If you miss the basics like this, going forward gets really confusing. Very, very confusing. So it is very, very important that when you start something like this, you see something like this, you really want to catch it. You want to get it. You want to know what it means before we continue plowing ahead. Because if you don't, tell you the truth. When we keep talking about permissions later on, it doesn't make any sense. Yes, would make no sense. We better know, guys. Please, please, please stop me right at the beginning on things like this and ask. Okay. Does that make sense? Who needs further explanation on what it means to read or write a file? Maybe for the entire sake of everybody. Because I think apart from Frontier, nobody really understands what it means. Guys, watch this. Let's do this for real life. And I don't have time. I could like you all to log in and do this same thing. But guys, watch this. Watch. Everybody watch me. LL. I have a bunch of files in here. I have a file here. I have a file here called VI test. Now, I want you guys to watch something. Let me do something much better. You guys remember this command? We use this command to create a tarball of the files in here. I'm going to put this command inside a file. I'm going to make that file executable, and you all see what that file will do. Okay? So I will do this. I'll copy this file. I'll copy this sentence, that line. As a matter of fact, maybe make it cooler than that. Yes, I'll make it a little bit cooler than that. So that is copied. I'll do VI. Let's call this test. Test permissions. .sh. In other words, it's a shell script that I'm writing. Often executable files, it's good to do them. Create them with the extension .sh, which stands for shell script. So if I hit enter, that's VI, opens, empty, I for insert, and I will do this. I want this script to be able to do this. I want it to make a directory. Make directory. So I do mkdir. Let's call that, we're going to call the directory the same name, like something like test. File underscore per me. Then, when it makes that directory, I want it to do this. It's going to now execute that script. After it executes that script, I want it to do this. MV, to move the file that it makes. In other words, to move that file into this directory. It's going to make a file, move it into a directory for us. Then after it does that, I want it to say this. It's going to tell us, echo no. it's going to tell us echo I it directly. And put it out with L and cd into that directory. Guys, watch what this will do. I'm writing like a tiny little program right here. So I would do that, and then I do just 1 second here. Okay. Now I want to do quit. Watch that, WQ, write and quit. So if I type LL, I want everybody to watch. This is our script I just made. But guys, I want to see I want to do this. LS minus LT R. You know what it does? This is the oldest file in this directory. I want everybody to watch this this ls command. LS minus L. If I do that, it lists these files alphabetically, starting from that to here. See, it's alphabetic. We look at the first character. But I want to see these files according to time because I'm looking, let's say there were 1,000 files and I'm looking for a file that I just made. I'll type that same command, but I put a T. You show them according to time. I want you guys to watch. When it shows by time, see the one I made is the one at the top, and the oldest file is at the bottom. Guys, watch. June 18, 901. And down here is June 14, whatever. It's June 14. But guys, I want to see the newest file at the bottom of the screen. I'll do this. The same command, but I put an R. So it's going to reverse, guys. It's going to take this file, put it at the bottom, and take this one and put it at the top. So it puts the newest file at the bottom. Hit enter. So you see now it reversed. So now I can, okay, this is the latest file inside this thing. Okay? And let me remove that file first. I thought that file was removed before. Okay, it's gone. So guys, watch that. So everybody watch this thing here. This is the permissions right here, folks. If you watch the permissions here, let me zoom into this. This is so important. Everybody must catch this. This file has these permissions. Now, first, the dash here means it's a regular file. It's not a directory, right? And then read, write, dash. There's no execute. That's for the owner. And read, dash, dash means the group members, the department numbers. Listen, let me roll back. In Linux, a user must belong. Every user must belong to a group. You must belong to a group. So you have a user and you have groups, right? So once you're created, you don't just fall in space. You must belong to a group. If they create a user and they don't specify a group, there's going to be a group created by in that user's name, and that user will belong to a group with their name. And it is the second set of permissions. So permissions are given like this: the owner, group members, and others, the rest of the world. So in this file that I just made, by default, when I make a file, only the owner can read and write, but there's no execute. And everybody else can read and read, that's it. But nobody can edit the file or execute it. But now, guys, if I need to execute the file, this is what you do. Period, / and you enter that file name. Just 1 second. Yep, I cannot tap it to print because it's not executable. So if you do this, hit enter, guys, see what it says. Permission denied. Because there's no execute on the file. Now, one time you ask about Okta. Watch this. Now do change mode. 7. 7 there means the owner is going to have those commands that we talked about. So the owner is going to have this thing here, guys. 4 plus 2 plus 1. So the owner has 7. So watch this. So I give the owner 7. And I could say this. The group members, I wanted to have nothing. I give them 0. The rest of the world, I don't care. 0. Nobody has permission to even read that file. Then I can now give the file name. Hit enter. Now, guys, if I type LL, let me just pick just the file name. See the permissions. Everybody watch. Now the file changed color from white to green. But watch the permissions. That 7 is this RWX. And the 0 is this. The first 0 is this 3. And the last 0 is the other 3. So now let's try and execute that file. You guys watch. So I can do this now. Execute. Bam. That file works. And guys, see. Guys, watch the output. I did it correctly. Check it out with LL. So if I type LL, bam, you can see it doesn't give us anything, but it made that directory. Remember, we're making a directory. I think that's a directory. Let's see. What did our note say? Where are you? Just hang on. Oh, made it correctly. CD. I wanted to do CD here, guys. See what's inside? The file we just made. So we made a tiny little program that can tie a bunch of files together and make a directory and move the tar file inside. Any question on that? If not, we move on. Is that confusing? Yeah. I want you guys to watch again. We do more on the file that we had, right? On the script that, see, we made a script, in other words. Let's do more on that script. See what the script did. The script started by doing make directory, and then it did a tar. And then it moved the tar file into the directory, and then it sent us a message. In the real sense, we could even do it so I send this message to a text message or to an email or something. But for us here, just display that on the screen. So that is how scripts can be written to do things inside Linux. And permissions. Guys, that's change mode. Change mode, change permissions. Cool. With that, we're going to talk about that again in September. So guys, watch here. They give us some examples. You could do change mode 777. That means the owner has 7. Group members have 7. And everybody else has 7. So whoever can delete that file, as a matter of fact. If you have right, then you can delete the file. Take it out of existence. And then, often this is the one most people use. They use this 755. 755 means read, write, execute for owner. Yep. Guys, watch. It's going to be read, write, execute for the owner. That is the 7. And then the 5 is RX, which is read, execute for group and the world. You guys see that? So 5 is that. Yeah, that whole thing there. That's the 5 permission. If you want to know more, guys, Go to man CHMOD. Now let's talk about VI. VI is the editor, guys. This is the best note I have seen about VI. Just this one tiny little thing here. VI actually has 3 modes. When you log into VI, guys, you type something like this, VI space, you give a file name, and boom, you are inside VI. While inside VI, you can. Now, once you log into VI, you are in the command mode. Okay? And inside command mode, what are the commands you can type here? While inside command mode, you can do this, guys. You can do colon. Watch that. You could type colon while in command mode. If you type colon, you go to the last line mode. Last line mode is this one. Let me show you guys. Everybody watch carefully. So we can do this. We do LL. I do VI. That was, what was that? It was script again. Test something. Test permission. I'm right now in command mode. If I want to go to last line mode, I enter colon. You see, when I enter colon, you skip down. You actually type this colon. Your cursor comes down to the bottom of the screen. That's why they call it the last line. You are at the last line of the document. You're down, or last line on the screen, not the document, but last line on the screen. Okay? And then here, you can type a couple of commands. You have different choices. And these are the choices you have. Your choices are this right here. W, WQ, Q band. Or you could put / you put a string. A string, who knows what a string is in English? What's a string, guys? Anybody?
A tiny piece of like thing. It could just be like a little piece just falling from your clothes, like a little tiny line or something.
You are right. In the real world, that's what it is. But now, in computer's terms, a string now could actually mean a word or words even. That's a string. Word or words. Something, a word. So, let me go back and you all see. I want everybody to watch carefully here. So, I am down here.
So you want to pay for me your day?
So, somebody's talking. I don't know what they say. So, guys, I'm down there. I can do this. /. And I enter, let me enter the word check. CHECK. And I hit enter. Notice what it does? It means I'm looking for the word check. It took me to the word check. You see? So I go to the last line, I enter /, and I enter a string that I'm looking for. Now if I enter escape or just hit enter, okay, I can go now, do whatever I want. Now guys, or I can go to the command mode. See, I'm back down there. Excuse me. And down there, I can type the other commands. Which way? People, W, WQ. Who knows what W stands for? Stanley, do you know what W stands for? Stan?
Yeah.
What does W stand for?
Oh, I'm not sure.
W stands for save or write. Means save what I have written. That's what that stands for. What? How can my battery thing running out of battery? When did I start this class today? Just hang on 1 second, guys. No, we didn't take a break yet. Hey guys, W stands for save. Now, what does WQ stands for, guys? Somebody tell me.
That should be like write and quit and
Thank
save.
you. It's like write or save and quit. Now, what about Q? Means quit. But the one we should take note of more would be, that's not a good color. This one here. Q, bang. That one, guys, means save or quit without saving. This one is so important. Quit without saving. You've done changes, but you don't want to save them.
Prof, can you explain the difference between the Q with and without the explanation point?
Q means quit. But if you did not save, it's going to refuse to quit. It's going to say, hey, you haven't saved yet. But if you didn't do anything, you can just quit. So for example, here guys, I am right now inside VI. So I can type Q and I quit. But let me go back in. I want you guys to watch. I come back in now and I go down and I need to add something. To add something, I hit an I. Guys, watch. When I type I, insert appears at the bottom. Now I can do some stuff like, let me do another echo. I can type some more stuff. Say I wanted to add more information for my output. Echo. Well done. Well done, buddy. Okay. And I finished that. I'm in insert mode now. I need to go back to command mode. So I hit escape. Escape takes away that insert at the bottom. Now I can do colon Q. See what it says. No write since last change. Add bang to override. That exclamation, we call it the bang sign. Say add that to override. Now I say, no, I want to save my stuff. So I can do this, colon W. That will save, but I will not quit. I'm still inside VI. Okay? But if I wanted to save and quit, it will be colon WQ. So I've done that. Now I want to quit. I do colon Q. That will quit, take me out. Cool. So let me go back to the thing. So guys, let me kind of bring this back in. Guys, it's just a few VI commands that you need to know to survive, okay? For now, we are learning the things that are important. You don't need to know the entire thing. So for the last line, how do you go to the last line? By typing colon. And you go to the last line. And while at the last line, you enter those commands, and you want to go back to the command mode, you hit return. Return takes you back to the command mode. But now, let's come back to the command mode. You sign in, you are in the command mode. And you want to go to the input mode. What do? Folks, you enter one of these beautiful commands here. One of this, any of this. This is all you need to know, guys. And the most use of this ones is this one here. The one you do the most will be the insert. In other words, the one you do the most will be that one, I. So I always do I. And sometimes, guys, you were doing O because you need a new line. That's it. So let me go in and you guys see me go from command mode to input mode. Frankly speaking, when I finish today, if you understand this picture, that's all. There's no point going through 10 pages of a book or slideshow. So let's get back here. So guys, I am in a document. Remember, I did VI and I got into a document. Now, guys, let's say I want to start typing. I will hit I. Once I hit the I want everybody to watch my screen, the bottom, I hit the I. You all see the insert appears down here. Means now I'm in the input mode. I can start typing text. I can start typing now, right? And I hit enter. We'll go down. I can hit enter, enter, enter. Now, I just did that. I said, I just made some garbage. What is that? I need to go back to the command mode. I would hit this key here, guys, escape. Hit that escape key. It will bring me back to the command mode. Then I can use U to undo the garbage I just did. So watch this now. So let me go back to our thing. So now I hit escape. Right now in command mode. You know why? How you know you're in command mode? When you don't see the word insert at the bottom of the screen. That's all. Now I can do U. I hit U just once. I took away everything that I did. U stands for undo. Guys, it is this command here. I could have even written it bigger. See U. Type U. You undo all the changes you made here. You type it where in the... So while in the command mode, right, I know two things I can do in the command mode. I can type U for undo, or I can type colon to go to last line. Apart from that, I can navigate my document with my arrow keys, going left and right, up, north, south, east, with the arrow keys on my keyboard. And then there are other commands that I would show you guys later, how the commands you can use inside command mode. Now, let's go try A and O. Watch this, guys. Everybody watch where I am. I'm on the word MKDIR. You all see that, guys? Or let me go to the longer word, test. Test _ file _ permissions. I'm at the beginning. If I want to start typing after the word test file permissions, because that is one word, I'll type A. Oops, no. That will be a word thing. No. Let me withdraw the statement. So guys, watch where my cursor is. If I want to start typing, now let me go to the end. If I'm right here at the S at the end, if I want to start typing after the S, I hit A. And notice the insert appears at the bottom. So now I can start typing from here. And I want to stop typing, I hit escape. Insert disappears. And I want to delete, undo my changes, I type U. But now, guys, watch insert. Watch I for the insert. I am standing on S, and I want to type, and I hit I. Notice insert appears at the bottom, but I am still on S. So now I'm carrying the S along. That's not good sometimes. So, but if I want to start typing after S, it is append, means add after. So my cursor means I want to start typing after the location of my cursor. So there's I for insert where you are, means I is to insert where the cursor is now, or A, insert after the cursor. Okay? Otherwise, watch this one. The next one is O. O means open a line below. And the uppercase means open the line above. So guys, watch those two. I am at S. If I hit O, lowercase, you see that? It jumps, it opens a line below the cursor, and insert appears at the bottom of the screen. That means I can start typing right now. And I need to stop typing, I do escape. Now I can do colon W, or I can do undo, whether I want to do undo. But now, guys, watch. I hit caps O. Caps O opens a line at the top, and I can start typing right there. And escape U for undo. I want to go to the bottom of the screen. I can now use my arrow and I go down. I want to go to the left of that line. I can now use my arrow and I move to the left. Even though there are letters you can use JK, you can use HJKL to do the same thing, but it's not important for now. Okay? So with that said, that is VI, believe it or not. We use VI to edit text. That's it, very simple. Let's see the next thing. I have some more VI commands here, just for the fun of it. If you look at here, change, replace, let me see which one. No, I like this one. Hey guys, I need to delete some lines in the file, in the text that I just did. To delete, guys, I can delete a word. To delete a word is DW. Type DW, you delete one word. If you want to delete 10 words, it will be 10 DW. Let's try that. Okay, I'm down here. Let me go to the end. Down there, guys, if I need to delete this word, body, whatever, right? I can enter D for delete word. See, delete that word for me. I want to bring the word back, is U, undo. That's all. Let me see, I think I should split my screen here. Just hang on, guys. Should split the screen so you all see, so you can see both. Yes, just 1 second, folks. Come on. Okay. Okay, so I can swing between these two easily. So D, W. In other words, guys, DW to delete one word, right? If I need to delete, let's say I want to delete 5 words. I think it is something like I hit 5, but you won't see the 5. Then I put DW. See, it deletes 5 words. I want to bring them back, U. Cool. Then there is DD, delete one line. Guys, so if you type DD, means you want to delete a whole line. So everybody watch this. If I want to delete that line up there, I just hit DD on my keyboard. That line goes, DD. That's it. If I need to delete 10 lines, I can do 10 DD. So let's say I'm up here, guys. I want to delete 5 lines. I can hit 5 DD. Delete 5 lines down there. And I say, oops, I want my lines back. I do U and U and U. Takes me back. Already at all this change. Then D, rest of the line. So if you enter caps D, it starts deleting from where you are. So let me try that and see. I've never tried that one. So I'm at the word, let's say I'm at the word check. I need to delete going forward. So I go Shift D. Yeah, delete everything after that point. Wind it back, U. Let's see what else. Yep, so D. And the most important one in reality is this one, X. Everybody can remember X. X, delete whatever word you're standing on. That's the one I use the most. So guys, it's like this. My cursor is, everybody watch. I am on the word, I'm on the word, my files. If I hit X, I delete that M, Y, F, see X, 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 you delete one word at a time. Then DD, you delete the entire line. And you go back to where you were, all the way. Cool. Let me see which other one is important for us to know. VI. VI, guys. Let's see VI. Move. How do you move around? How do you move around your screen? The most important one for the move is this one. G. G, guys, to go to the end of the file. You have a file that's 1,000 documents, right? And you need to go to the end of it. You type G. That means like 1G. But if you want to go to line number 50, you type NG. Then you go to line number N. Guys, watch this now. I'm inside this file that we have. Guys, watch here. I'm inside this file. And everybody watch some other thing here. Look at these numbers down here on at the side of the screen. 4, 1. That means I'm on line number 4 and position number 1. Guys, watch. Line number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. And I'm on position number 1. No, what the numbers down there, as I move my cursor, that number changes. So I'm on word number, this, or position number, that. If I go down, you see so this whole document is 8 lines. You see that? Cool. So now, let's say I am up here and I want to go to line number 5. So I'll type 5 and caps G. Takes me to line number 5. You can see down here, it changed to number 5. Cool. If I want to go to the end of the document, is just Shift G, takes me to the last line. If I want to go to the first line, I enter 1G, takes me up to the document. Guys, this is useful for a document with thousands or hundreds of lines. I'm using this one just as an example. Guys, you don't need to know all of these commands, okay? Now I'm just doing those that are important. Otherwise, guys, if to go left, to go right, you can use these things here. I don't want to highlight that. I don't want you to think that these are key of great importance. See, to go to the end of a long line, yeah, I think that one is important. You type the $sign, right? And you want to go to the beginning of the line, you type O. Let's see. So guys, just, I wasn't showing you guys what it was. See, I was here. I said this. I want to go to the end of a line is $. I want to go to the beginning of a line is, what is that, 0 or O, caps O. So guys, watch here. Everybody watch. Let's say I was down on this line that says echo, right? And I want to go to the end and start typing. So I simply type the $sign. Takes me to the end. But I'm not in insert mode. I then can do A for a pen. Cool. Let's swing back here. And I want to go to the beginning is caps O. So that's it for that one, guys. How to move around. And other things. This one too is so important, isn't it? Everybody must know U for undo. That's what I was using. Okay, that one, undo your changes. Now you need to look for you're looking for something. We saw this one too that we call a string before. So this guy, oops, here, and you write down what you want to find. So this one is so important. It's like this, guys. Like I'm here, right, in the document. I want to look for the word test. I do /, my cursor jumps all the way down. I then type the word test and I hit enter. It will highlight all the places where the word test appears in the document for me. And it starts on the first one. Then I think if I start to hit N, it will jump and go from one to the other. Beautiful. I'll send you guys this. I would soon bring this down so you all take a screenshot of this. So when you're in there, you can type N to go next. Let me see if there's another thing on VI in here that we need to know. Insert. Yeah, we saw insert, right? We saw the A. A stands for after cursor. That's insert after cursor. So guys, watch this. This is the insert command. Okay? So A after cursor. And caps A at end of line, I don't care. I before cursor, after cursor. And O, open line below. And the other O, open line above. That's all I need. Oh, by the way, YY, yank line is this. Copy. So copy a whole line. Do YY. And same thing, of course, you do P, means put. And put there means paste. Guys, watch. It's like this. Everybody watch. I am here. I need to copy. Let's say, guys, watch. I'm on that line. What line am I on now? Okay. I'm on line number 6. You can see here at the bottom. See, I'm on line number 6. If I need to copy that line, I type YY. I've copied it. So now if I need to paste it, I do P. See that? I'm just typing P and I'm pasting it like a dozen times. And I can do escape. U till I undo everything. Cool. I like that. YY, yank or copy a line. P, paste. Let's look again here. Guy, you know this thing that it becomes kind of interesting. EX commands, no, I don't care. Let's talk about the save commands. These ones are important. Save, as we saw, guys, is W, :W. Write buffer. Write buffer means save, or it's equivalent to save, okay? And Q, quit. And quit there will mean exit. So exit VI. And there is :WQ, means save and quit. And then there is :! Hey, guys, that sign is also known as bind. I don't know how to call it like that, but that's how IT folks call it. The bang sign, okay? So colon bind means abandon buffer. What does that mean? Which is equals to quit without saving. Oh, then watch this. I love this. This other one down here, ZZ. So shift ZZ, like capital GG, right? Is the same as save and quit. And then the other one, suspend VI, I don't care. So guys, you gotta know those commands there. Let's see if there's any other ones. You guys have to know. Frankly speaking, we see up here in the box. Command, initial state, cancel, partial, insert, escape. Okay. I see here. Let's pay attention to what's here. So what they're showing us here, right, is the 3 different modes of the AI. And the 3 modes are the command mode, the insert mode, and the last line mode. So command mode, they say, is the initial state. Cancel partial, command with escape. So you come back to that one by typing the word escape. That's how you come back there. And then to go to the insert mode, you enter with AIOCS or any of those commands. And you want to end it or to exit it, you type escape. Then to go to the last line, you enter either this thing or that one. And if you want to end it, you hit the return key. Okay, oh, that's cool up there, like that. Hey guys, I want somebody to take a picture of this. I know I didn't show you, we didn't go through this in class, this particular little picture here. I found it and I thought it was something nice, worth sharing. Somebody take a picture of this and put in the class group for us. Because this is the first time I go through this. Actually summarizes VI for me. Cool. With that said, it is 9:43, believe it or not. I didn't even go 1/4 what I wanted to. Guys, after VI, hey, at this point, right, we finish all the Linux you need to know. That's it about Linux. What do we went through those 20 or 30 long commands of Linux. Then we saw VI, we saw change mode. Now we're now turning towards database. Now we have to look at units of measurement of data. How do you measure data? Guys, the first one is the bit. And if you remember the bit, guys, the binary digit is the smallest unit of data storage. It's called the bit. And 8 bits make 1 byte. I'm right here. 8 bits make 1 byte. This is where the number 8 comes into computers in general, okay? And everything from this point becomes a multiple of 8. And then, guys, if you take 1024 of those bits, they give you 1 kilobyte. And from this point on, the number 1024 becomes the most popular number. And the most popular unit of measurement is a kilobyte. 1024. Guys, the word 1024 you can't forget. I think if you divide that by 8, it will be what? 2. Somebody divide this number by 8. Let's see how many 8s are in there. Guys, you guys did, I'm sure everybody did math in school. 1024 divided by 8 is what, guys?
0.125.
Huh?
0.125, like 1024 divided by 8.125.
No, 125. It will be 125 more than that. So, 1 kilobyte equals 125 bits. No. Let me withdraw that back. In other words, right? It will be 8 times. How am I going to take that? In other words, no. Let me kind of withdraw. Let me fix it. In other words, right? 1 kilobyte equals 1024 times 8 bits. That's what I'm trying to drive. That's what I'm actually trying to go to. Because the unit of measurement is the bit, right? And 8 bits make 1 byte. And should be 1 byte. And 1024 bytes make 1 kilobyte. 1024 kilobytes make 1 megabyte. And 1024 megabytes give us 1 gigabyte. And 1024 gigabytes, 1 terabyte. And 1024 terabytes, 1 petabyte. Then 1 exabyte. And then 1 zettabyte. Then 1 yottabyte. Then 1 brontobyte. Then 1 geobyte. Some other books I could put some different names here. Then 1 second byte. Some other books actually give some different weird names for these guys. Cool. But so far we are at the exabyte right now. I haven't heard of data in the zettabyte yet. Cool. And you keep going. Oh, on the other side, guys, look at the other names. We don't even want to call them, right? Amosbyte, Pectrobyte, Borgerbyte, somebody, okay. But some people are just making these things up because they want to force their own names. Maybe these are their relatives' names, who knows? Okay, but don't worry about that. Hey guys, the Oracle block. So the smallest unit of data storage in every computer is the bit. And the bit is, oh, I forgot telling you guys this, guys. The bit is either a 0 or 1. Either a 0 or 1. A bit is the letter or the number 0 or the number 1. Very simple. So your name in a computer can be translated into zeros and ones. The typical computer reads data in zeros and ones, okay? In binary format. So guys, a bit is a binary digit. Catch that. A bit is a binary digit. And here they say digit, right? And that digit will be either 0 or a 1. Cool. Then, Oracle data storage units. The Oracle data is stored inside a block, or Oracle stores its data in a block. And the block, the Oracle data block, I want someone to write this down, is the smallest unit of storage in Oracle. Smallest unit of storage in Oracle. Size. That thing has a size. The Oracle block is given a size, and possible sizes let's call this sizes. Sizes of the block could possibly be, let me make my pen a little bit bigger here. It starts from 2K, that's 2 kilobytes, 4K, 8K, 16K, 32K, 64K. If there's another one, it will be 128K. I want you guys to notice it's multiples, it's actually multiples of 8. Half of 8, 1/4 of 8, or 2 8s, or 3 8s, and so on and so forth. The default is 8K. So I'll write here. Default size of block equals 8K. And sometimes you see the K, they may write KB, okay? Kilobyte. Now, let's talk about the block. This is all about the block, guys. First of all, no. Oh, and by the way, this block is made up of operating system blocks, okay? The computer itself, without Oracle, still uses blocks, but at the operating system level. And those blocks, the size of those blocks depend on the operating system. At the operating system level only, guys, that we talk about that, but it's too minute for everybody to be talking about it. We just use the thing. So now the Oracle block, guys, is divided in two. If you look at this diagram, the Oracle database block here is divided into a couple of parts. The block, guys, is like a typical box from Amazon in which you store the data. You store the rows, your first name, last name, date of birth, all those things, right? So the data goes inside a box. And that box, guys, is what we can now call a block. Okay? A block, because you know, everybody knows what a box looks like. A typical box, guys, we know a typical box will look something like that. You remember? Box that you buy. Or you buy stuff and it comes inside. So that's a block. Cool. So if it looks like this, perfectly like this, that block is divided into 3 main areas, okay? And the 3 main areas are the header. I didn't write it here nicely, but it will be the header. Number 1. And the header is that whole section right there. We'll call that the header. Then number 2, the free space. And number 3, the raw data. That's all about the block. You start right from there, guys. You think of three parts of a block. Just from the word, just from the way it is, the raw data, this is where your actual data stays. Actual records. Remember, data is in form of records or rows. Are stored here. So the rows are stored in the raw data area. Cool. And it's, notice, the biggest. Then there's free space. So when you store the rows, right, the rows come in and they sit in here like this. They sit here and they occupy, oh, excuse me. So it's like they occupy this whole area and they get here, they cannot go any further. Once they get up here, we consider the block full. So the rows grow upwards. So the rows sit in, it's like you're pouring water in a bucket, right? Fills from the bottom and comes up until when it hits that top, It's full. It cannot go any further. Cool. But when it gets full, Oracle starts putting data in the next available block. And this free space stands empty. It stands empty, ready to be used for updates. We'll use this thing only for updates of rows in the raw data area. It means the rows that are in here, if you ever have to increase the size of any row that is within this section here, that increase would take space from here and use and keep using that space. And until if you have increased many rows and you've used all the space, and you ever dare want to increase another row in size, when free space is now 0, completely used, that entire row, the entire row plus its change will move. That row will move to somewhere else. We'll say the row will migrate. That rows migrate, guys, when there is no room in the free space to take their increase or their update. Okay? So the row would migrate. Cool. So guys, what did we say here? A block has three areas: the header, the free space, and the raw data area. And the raw data area is also called percentage use. Okay? In other words, it is called something like PCT. Actually, this is how it's actually written. PCT used. Percentage used. And the free space is called PCT free. That PCT free, it's actually defined in the database as PCT underscore free. Okay? Cool. That is the Oracle block. Don't worry about the parts of the header. Or if you really want to see it, the header is made up of three sections again. No one talked about the trees in Oracle. The 3 sections are, number 1 up there is the common and variable header, and number 2 is the table, directory, or dictionary. You could call it table, dictionary, or table directory. And number 3 is the row directory or row dictionary. Okay? The table directory, right? All it has is this. If a table puts its rows inside this block, the name of the table will be written in that table directory or dictionary. So if Oracle is looking for data for a specific table, Oracle will come to this block and will look at the table dictionary or directory and see if the name of the table is in there. If it doesn't find the name of the table, it will not waste time looking for the row in this block. But if it sees the name of the table in the row directory, or rather in the table directory, what it will do is this. It will proceed into the row directory to check if the particular row Oracle is looking for is inside this block. If it doesn't see the ID, the row ID, row identification number of the row in the row directory, Oracle will not go down to go look in the raw data. Oracle will move to the next block, and so saving time. That is the purpose of the table directory and the row directory. Common variable header is just for general information. We don't really care about. Cool. So, and This thing is sized in percentages that we are going to see later on. Let's go to the next section. The next section tells us about the entire, what time is it? My God, 10:30. Then we go through the architecture. At least when we did the entire Linux, right? So guys, we saw the Oracle block with 3 main areas, right? So the database itself is made up of 3 main areas. The first area, number 1 up here, is the memory area, which we're going to call SGA, and number 2, processes, and number 3, the database files or the physical database. So those are the 3 main areas of a database. So now, let's break it down. If you look at these 3 main areas, starting with the first 2, with the 2 at the top. The 2 at the top, as you see, are memory and processes. When you combine those 2 together, you have what we call an Oracle instance, okay? So an Oracle instance is that whole section. And an instance has a name. And guys, an instance is what we call the Oracle seed. Okay, we name the Oracle instance by giving it $Oracle underscore SID. So say Oracle seed equals class T. It means our Oracle instance is called class T. Okay? Now, guys, in that instance, the memory section of it has a couple of things in play. It has 2 sections of memory, or 2 types of memory. The 2 types of memory areas would be the PGA and the SGA. The Oracle's memory is in 2 areas, the PGA and the SGA. The PGA stands for the Program Global Area. So PGA, guys, let me do, okay, PGA equals, some people call it program, some people call it process, some people call it private. And then, oops, global area. Okay? So you hear all those names? No, they're talking about the PGA. Every user has his own private private global area. That's why I call it private, because each person is not shareable. If they pick one for you, it is only for you. Nobody else can use it. Cool. Then the SGA. The SGA, as we see, what we call the system or shared. We call it shared. Then global area. Cool. That's how some people call it. Shared global area. Take that. Have something there that distracts. Cool. So the SGA itself, still following the trees of Oracle, is divided into 3 main areas. The first area is called the database buffer cache. Then there is the Redulock buffer cache. You could put them in any order. And then there is the shared pool. 3 main areas. But there are many more than that, but these ones are mandatory, okay? The database buffer cache, we're going to find out, has 3 types of buffers inside. The RadioLock buffer is very simple. It's the RadioLock buffer, but the most busy part of it. Then the shared pool also has like 3 main areas. We're going to find out later that there is an area called, which is key these days, called statistics buffer. Statistics buffer. The library cache, dictionary cache, statistics buffer, and so on. But there are many pieces in there. And then we're going to learn that even the library cache is divided into 3 main areas. We're going to see that down the line. But for now, guys, just remember SGA is, what is SGA? It is the System Global Area reserved for Oracle from the operating system, okay, to be used by the Oracle instance. It's reserved to be used. It is reserved. Listen, it's like you have a huge computer of 16 gigabytes of RAM, and you create a database and you make your SGA 4 gigabytes of RAM. So when you start up Oracle, Oracle would take 4 gigabytes of RAM from the server and carve it off and keep it just for Oracle. Nobody else can use it. And that's the area we call the SGA. Then, when any user connects into the machine, they're still going to go into the general server memory and take a tiny little bit for that user. That is the PGA. But SGA is key. If your SGA is too small, you have performance issues. Now, who talks to the SGA? Guys, the only process that talks to the SGA is called the server process, okay? As a matter of fact, we're going to learn this. The database has 3 kinds of processes. And for the processes, the first one will be the user process. That is you connecting to the database, right? The user process will be created for you. Oops. So you're going to have a user process right there. And that user process is what starts the job in a database. So user process will be spin off, and the user process would be received by a server process. So that's the second kind of process. Then the server process will take your request, create a PGA for you, and then take your SQL statement and typically run to the library cache in the shared pool, okay? Then take your data to the buffer cache. If your data was to be saved in the database, then a background process, that is the third type of process, which I didn't really put it here correctly, but they should be called background processes. So that would be the third type of process. The background process would now take your data, and specifically a background process called this DBWN, the database writer. That database writer, guys, would take your data from here, from the buffer cache. Let's say your data was here. It's going to pick up that data and take it down. You continue to go down and down and down and down until it drops it inside the database files. Guys, watch that, the data files. And so that is the movement of data. A user process comes in, it's received by a server process. The server process will create a PGA for that user process. Then the server process will take your request to the SGA. Most importantly, it will take it to the library cache. take your SQL statement there and go see if this particular SQL statement has been parsed and carved or has been parsed and saved before. If it doesn't find it there, we'll call that a hit miss, and then the server process will have to go through the torture of parsing that statement. That is the most difficult work a database does, okay? Or a server process in parsing a SQL statement. So it will parse the SQL statement. When you finish parsing it, it's going to bring a tiny little piece of it we'll call the parse tree and keep it inside the library cache. Then it will proceed to go get your data. Or if you're keeping data, it will now proceed to keeping your data inside the buffer cache, inside the database buffer cache. And that's when now, guys, the buffer cache, believe it or not, is made up of buffers. A buffer is the same size as an Oracle block. That's the interesting thing about it. So from the word buffer, remember, the buffer is actually a storage area in real life. So each of these little squares that I'm writing here would be called a buffer. So each of these spaces, that's a buffer, okay? So those are buffers. The same size as an Oracle block. A buffer must have, rather, a block must have a buffer same size as the block. If not, that block will not exist in a database. Okay? So now, the database writer would end up taking the data from the buffer cache to the data file because, guys, in the data file, that's where the actual blocks stay. The data file is made up of blocks. We call it the data blocks. Okay. Apart from the database writer that I've talked about, there are many background processes, and some of them are mandatory, like the ones that are here. Once you create a database, all of these ones are there. They must be there running. PMON. So guys, starting from here, you see PMON, PMAN, forget PMAN, LRG. This is listener register, guys. We did the listener yesterday, right? This one is the listener process register, the listener register. They call that guy. Then there's the SMON. Then there is the checkpoint process, CKPT, memory monitor, MMON, memory manage. No. MMON is actually called manageability monitor. And this other one, MNL, is manageability monitor light. Then there's the RICO, and then there's the log writer process. Okay, so this, guys, these background processes are in there in your database. Once you create the database, they are there as processes. And they are optional processes that you can see down here. The optional ones have some very crucial that must exist. This one here, the archival process, we're going to talk about that more. That process must exist in a production database. Otherwise, if your database crashes, you can lose data. Then there's the recovery writer. Then there's the FBDA. We're going to talk about all those later. Then there's some slave processes running. Slaves exist everywhere, man. So if you're a slave somewhere, don't bother. Slaves, even a computer, you have slaves. But if you're a slave of Christ, be happy. So that is the background processes, or those are the background processes. Then the third part of the database is, guys, the third area, I'll call it physical files or the physical database, right? It's made up of three main groups of files. The three main groups of files are the data files, then the Regilog files, and the control files. Those are the three main groups, key of which are data files. These are the largest. The ReadyLog files and the control files, their size is insignificant compared to the size of the data files. But they must exist. We're going to study them. And if you look here, the trees of Oracle recommended to have 3 ReadyLog files. Recommended in reality to have 3 control files. Recommended for the data files, they are recommended to be striped. We don't have to multiplex them. So as we study this, you're going to hear this word here, guys. You're going to hear the word multiplex. Means keep more than 1 copy. But for the data files, the word you shall hear would be this, striping. But we're going to learn this when we get to performance tuning. You stripe the data files. You multiplex the ReadyLog files and the control files. That's the language we shall be speaking. Then, there are some other physical files that we should know. One of them will be the parameter file. We talked about this in the past 2 days in class. The parameter file is also known as the init.ora or the SP file. Okay? So there's 2 versions. There's the init.ora and the SP file, and the init.ora is this, ASCII. Everybody, you can Google that and find out what the word ASCII stands for. Then the SP file is binary, means only the database can read it. It is proprietary to the Oracle database. But the 2 files contain the exact information. Those are the files we use to create the instance that we saw. How big is your SGA? What background processes should be running? How many server processes are there? What is the name of the instance? What is the name of the database? It's all defined inside the parameter file. Cool. Then there could be archive log files. The archive log files, believe it or not, come from the ReadyLog writer and the archiver process. So these are just changes, ongoing changes that are saved, that can be used for database recovery later on. Cool. Let's go to, this is just again that SGA thing, the instance. This is the Oracle instance. As I told you, it's made of, the Oracle instance is made up of 2 things. The memory part of it and the processes. That's it. Okay? Even though when I say that, it's actually background processes. Then, apart from that, let me see what time. Okay, I'll let you guys, I want to take a break, but let's just continue till we end. And tomorrow, we will continue with this. Oracle instance, the Oracle database, 11C to 19C. So guys, the typical database would have, this is just like a summary of what we just talked about back there, okay? The database components, we saw there were 3 main ones, right? There's memory structures, and there is the processes and storage. You see that? 3 main components of an Oracle database. So number 1 is memory, number 2 would be the processes, and number 3 would be storage. Storage here would mean the data files, the ReadyLog files, the control files. Okay? Cool. And then, what is an Oracle instance? An instance is processes and memory structures. So, an instance in reality, by this little note here, right, equals, let me just say BG, background processes, plus the SG. That's what an Oracle instance is overall. Now, what is an Oracle server? instance and database are called the Oracle server. In other words, guys, the entire instance and the database, right, combined together is called a server. And the big question is, what is a server? A server, guys, is simply anything that can multitask. It's anything that can serve more than one person at the same time. We call that a server. Like there's Windows Server. There's a computer that is a server. There's a software that is a server. Server process. Or rather, it's server software. Okay? But the server, here I say, one instance communicates with one database. In other words, guys, an instance can only deal with one set of physical files. Then when you have host machine, what is the host machine? Guys, is where users and applications connect to interact. In other words, that machine that has the database, we call that the host machine. If the machine goes down for some reason, the database will be unavailable. Yes. So to avoid that, there is something we're going to talk about in class later called the RAC, Real Application Cluster. That one will avoid failures in case any of the instances goes down. Let's look at this diagram, then we may end. So guys, if you look at this diagram here, you see way at the top here, my number one is the instance. What is the instance? The instance, as you watch here, is actually the SGA, PGA, plus the processes. I want you guys to watch here. And of course, users must be involved. They did not write that here, but it should actually be this, user process. Okay? There's three kinds of processes involved in a database. The user process, number one. The server process, number two. And then the background process, number four. Oops, excuse me, number three. Three groups of processes. In other words, let me write that somewhere. Three groups of processes in Oracle. So in Oracle database. Number one is the user process. Number two, server process. And number three, the background process. So they are processes because they are all plural. So that's the instance up there, right? Then you have the physical database, which is the second of the structures, right? And that physical database, guys, has the data files made of Oracle blocks, you remember? Then the control file, so number one, and the RegLog files, number three. And the data files are made up of a bunch of files, three of which are mandatory. So for the data files, we're going to study later on that there are different types of data files, okay? And each data file must belong to a table, something we call a table space. We're going to study something later. We haven't seen it. We created a database. We're going to talk about table spaces this week, okay? So a data file, every data file must belong to some table space. But most important, data file number one belongs to the system table space. Then there's sysocs and all. We're going to study the different type of table spaces later on. We haven't done so, okay? And the database can be made up of thousands of data files, depending on the size of the database. Cool. Now, there's some more physical files. There's the archive log files, the flashback logs, the password file, the parameter file. Remember, the parameter file is actually that init.aura or sp file.aura. That's the parameter file. The listener, remember the listener, guys, we saw that yesterday, is the file called listener.aura that you used to configure that guy. Cool. Then, let's say there's a logical section of the database. Logical, not physical, logical. And for the logical section, that's where the table spaces come in. The logical section is actually about the table space, the table spaces. What is a table space? A table space is a logical storage unit in a database made up of at least one data file. We're going to see that. We talked about that some time ago. Okay? A table space, logical. So I want to write that here, guys. I want someone to write that down. What is a table space? Logical storage unit. In an Oracle database. Let's say logical storage unit, comma, in an Oracle database, comma, made up of at least one data file. That is the definition of a table space. Cool. Now, let's talk about this note. PST free, PST use. Guys, we remember these guys, right? PST free, as we remember, PST free is meant for updates. So that guy reserved for updates. So I'll do this. Say reserved for updates of rows. Remember, update of what? Then PCT used. This guy holds rows. Rows is actually the data. So the data stays in there. As simple as that. So if you look at this, I showed two blocks here, guys. The two blocks have this here. The PCT, this is percentage used, or the raw data, right? Is 80%, and this one is 40%. Can somebody tell me which of these two blocks can hold the most data? Which of the two blocks can hold the most data? Anybody still online? Oh.
Is the second?
Nope. 40% means 40% of the green area shows the amount of PCT free that the database can use. So the first block can store more data than the second one. As simple as that. Because you remember, that means this. Watch. The entire block from top to bottom. Oops. There is 100%. And this here is 40%. Therefore, going up here all the way would be where we have 60% here, or 61%. And the header, who cares? Oracle would take the amount of header it needs, definitely from the free space. And if the 100% is 8 kilobytes, so 40% would be like maybe 3 point something kilobytes or something like that. Anyway, let's go. Whoa, let me explain one concept, then we can close for the day. Hold on, let me see. Yes, I just explained one concept about row chaining and row migration. Then we can leave for the day. And I would send you guys this note to browse through it before tomorrow. I'm still on number 14. I think I have like 40 pages. So guys, what is row chaining? Row chaining happens when a row is too large to fit into a single data block. For example, if you use an 8K block size with only 4 KB of PCTUs area for your database, and you need to insert a row of 6K into it, Oracle will use 2 blocks and store the, no, use 2 blocks and store the row in a chain of data blocks for that row. Okay, row chaining happens only, let's read this, maybe this will be clearer. Row chaining happens only when the row is being inserted. Consider this text. This text box is 6K row size. So guys, consider this thing is 6 kilobytes, right? This block. See how it's split into 2 blocks. So guys, so if we have 6K of data, right, and our data block is designed like this. If you're looking at this carefully, the block size is 8K. That's from top to bottom. And only 4K, that's 50% of the block, is made to store the actual data for us. But now I have a row of 6 kilobytes. Means the row, guys, my row cannot fit inside this area right here because that area is too small. That area is 4K, but I have a row of 6K. So what would Oracle do? Oracle would take the 6K, come and cut it into pieces, and it's going to put 4K inside this one block. Then it will carry the other 2K left to the next block. You see here, I say 2K of 6K. So now this Oracle block is, rather, the Oracle, forget block, I'm talking about a row, not a block. This Oracle row has been divided. Therefore, the row is fragmented, or they've broken the row and part in one block, part in another block. So the day Oracle is looking for this data, right, Oracle will come to the header and it will find out, okay, the row is here. And Oracle will start to get the row and it finds out that no, half of the data is somewhere else. Then Oracle has to leave that block and go to another place and find the row, then merge the 2 of them before it comes to show it to the user. That will take an awful long time to do. And when you say the database is performing poorly, the database is fragmented, there is row chaining in the database, and that kind of stuff. Cool. So guys, a large row is split between 2. So what is row chaining? happens when a large row is split between two data blocks. Large row split between two data blocks. Then there's another phenomenon called row migration. What causes row migration? Guys, row migration, the row moves. The entire row moves. It is not split. It is not broken. It moves. It migrates. So let's see what that is. Row migration. And I say here that it occurs, just 1 second. It occurs when an update. This one, guys, row migration is caused by an update. Update causes it. Occurs when an update to that row would cause it to not fit in the block. I need to rephrase the thing here anymore. So guys, you're trying to update a row, but there's no PSD free, so the update cannot come in. So Oracle would move the entire row. Okay? So a migration means that the entire row will move and we just leave behind, oops, that should be will. And we'll just leave behind the forwarding address. Yep, the entire row will move, but it's going to leave a note there that in the header table space, that row move. So the original block just has the row ID of the new block, and the entire row is moved. Row chaining and row migration will cause database fragmentation. So that's the main thing. Cool. So to show us an example here, guys, that you had your 4K block here. It filled that whole thing already. Then somebody was coming to add another piece of row, another information that will make that row longer. But Oracle cannot fit it inside this row data area because there's no more free space left. And because there's no more free space left, Oracle will move the old row and the new data that's adding it and look for another block and put it inside. So that's why I have it in those two blocks. Cool. And with that said, guys, it is 10:38. Yes, I'm tired. I'm gonna let you guys go to break. And tomorrow we are going to continue from here. Let me see. Yep, it's much longer than I thought. Tell you guys the truth. But it's the last time we're going through this, so don't really bother. And then we are going to, there's a whole lot of things we're going to do. Yes. So tomorrow we're going to just zoom through this, and then we'll turn back to our database creation and all of that. So we're learning this section just so that we understand how a database performs, how to tune a database, how to do, database maintenance. But apart from that, we got a whole lot of the real database stuff to do in front of us. With that, people, let me let you guys go to sleep.
Thank you so much, sir.
Yes, and we continue tomorrow at 7 p.m. Yes, we'll continue tomorrow. But it may not be, now we may not really go through this architecture again, but the most important part I wanted to do was to explain it up to where we are right now. Yes, up to that point. We don't have to go talking about all of this again. You guys have way more important things to learn, frankly speaking. But these things here are more important when you're writing the Oracle exam. For the real work, you just need to know about sizing the blocks, how to change the size of a block. We're going to do that practically. But apart from that, all the other details are more useful for the exam. And for me, I don't care if you guys write the exam or not, because the exam is, just one thing on its own. With that, hey guys, good night.
Thank you, Prof, and good night.
Yes.
Night.
Good night, everyone. Go rest. Let me go rest and go to church tomorrow. My man in Houston. Yo. Just hold on 1 second. Stan.
Yes, sir.
Okay, just hold on. Hold on. Let me come. Let me put my things to charge, put my pencil here to charge my iPad, and I turn back to you. Yes, Stanley. Let me see what we need to do, buddy. Just a second. Now, Stanley, I did share that some folder with you, right?
Which folder is it? Are you talking about?
2022 May something.
Oh yeah, the notes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay, get that. Open that and open for me this document to install Oracle.
The 2020 May Cloud DBA class.
Yes.
Huh.
There is a note right at the top. I think it's second one at the top. If you click on that thing, you would be right here.
All right. Let me see. All right.
Thank you, Prof. Good night.
Yes. Good night. You all go get a rest. I just got some things to do with Stan here. He joined us a few days ago, so I need to help bring him up to speed.
So what am I clicking on? I see the notes. But what am I clicking on?
You see what?
Oh, the one that says short guide to install Oracle 11.
Yes.
All right.
If you click on that, it's open, right?
Hold on 1 second. Yeah, it's open. Where it says, what is Yum?
Yep, absolutely. That's one.
I got it open.
So that is just some little history. You can read that. It's nothing somebody will ask you. It's just so that you kind of have an idea what Yum is. Just a Linux package manager. You use that to manage all the Linux software. That's all. But then if you go down, you get to this place.
Mm-hmm.
But before getting to this place, I gave you a machine. You remember?
Yes, sir.
Fire up that machine for me. And let me see if I have one here for myself. Yes, I do. So I'll open mine.
I gotta open the next 10.
Yep, net extender first. Why is my net extender here? What is that? VPN dot hitechtraining.com.
All right, I'm in next. I'm here.
What don't you like? What is that again? Was that VPN dot? VPN.
VPN.bitechtraining.com. Capital for me, if it matters.
Let's do that again. Yes, I am here. I know now this thing should work. All right. Are you where I am, right? You got
Yes,
your
sir.
got a big screen monitor, right?
Yes, sir.
I like to see your setup, man, with that gigantic monitor. How many inch?
Oh, the big monitor? No, I don't have the big monitor on me now.
But it's still your second thing is your second monitor computer. You said it was
Yes,
a
sir.
TV screen, right? Yeah. So how big is it? 20-inch
No,
TV screen?
no. That's a good question. Actually, it's bigger than 20. I don't know. I don't know.
Anyway, so if you're right here, your prompt should look different from mine. Yours should look more like let me see if I could SSH to some other machine.
Mine's right now is blank. It asked me to type in the password. I'm about to type it in.
Oh, wait. How did you log in?
I'm on the. What do you mean? I'm on the
Mobile X.
Yeah, mobile X.
But you
And now it says.
okay. Listen, watch here. The note says using the given IP address, the one I gave you, right?
Mm-hmm.
And user as BDBA and password Oracle, test connecting into your Linux machine using Mobile X or Poly to configure the VM. Did you use this user? You connected as this thing?
Yeah, I'm logged in. It says last login was Thursday.
Okay. Oh, then you're fine. And your prompt would definitely be saying BDBA, right? So it would be different from mine anyway.
Yeah.
Cool. That's where it should be. Then down here, the next section, I tell you, there's something called sudo in Unix that you should know. And it says the sudo command allows a permitted user to execute a command as the super user, aka root, also known as root, or another user as specified. So use that sudo guy. You're going to do many things that you need root privilege. And as sudo, you can do those things. That's the whole idea here. And the BDBA user, I created it. So you're going to use that BDBA user that you're logged in to type. You could type either sudo -i or sudo -s. But if you read this thing, it will tell you the difference between the two, which doesn't matter much to us DBAs.
Mm-hmm.
So then this one is just an example to run a command. You should never make it that bold. Then if you go down, the pre-install package is from here that the real installation begins. So at this point, when you do this, you become root or that administrator. Then you can run these commands one by one. Until when it tells you that exit from root, then you leave root. Okay. So once you have, Stanley, so this way you begin today. Just hold on, I took a snapshot of your machine, I think. Yes, I did. So you run this command. It's going to ask you for password to make sure you know your password and you have the privilege to log in as sudo. Then you're going to log in, then you run yum clean all, just in case there's some hanging yum things. Then you do yum install -y. This will take a little while. When it finishes, you must do sysctl -t, and that one is just to because that yum install at the top does a lot of changes in the database. So sysctl simply synchronizes all those things, so they are ready for use. So, but you better run those 3 lines. Run me those 3 lines right now, making sure that you are root. you run away, let me know. As a matter of fact, I should not be sharing screen. I should see your screen instead. Give me your AnyDesk. Stanley?
Yeah, I'm coming. Hold on 1 second.
AnyDesk.
AnyDesk. You need the address?
Yes.
141016.
Okay, hold on. 141016
090.
090. And it will ask you to let me in.
Alright. Okay.
Cool. Now, I just want to see instead.
Yeah, I need to know what to write because I can't. I need to open it.
You have 2 monitors. I see you have just one. Oh, no, the other one is. What? Oh, we have 2, I see that. Listen, put them side by side. Put the document one side and put the Mobile X on the same place, then I can guide you. So I see them both.
I'm only using one monitor right now.
What, a small laptop?
Yeah, my laptop.
Come on. That's what you want.
Because I'm not at home right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, you're gonna split your screen. Do the split screen like I showed in class. Split your screen into 2. Put that document on one side so I can be looking at it. Not this one even. The shortcut to install Oracle. Remember how to split? Okay. Listen. Let me tell you what you do.
Well, the lighting is hopefully.
I got it.
Okay, let me see. I think I can do. Hold on. See this thing here?
Mm-hmm.
When you click on that closes. This is just to open. See that opens and shows you your machines you've set up. When you close it, you have more space. Then this document here that I gave, you want to just have the document occupy. How come it has so many things on the side? Okay, can we take all of that away? Yes. So you do this. You click on this window, hold this Windows Start menu, and hit the left button, left arrow. It will split that thing directly into half your screen. Try that. Yep. And then the other one. Okay, now it's fine. You have them 2 on. See, you have one here and one over here.
Yeah.
So you can make this guy too long there. Okay? Then this thing, I don't like the way it is. How come it's, how come I have to be scrolling left and right? Hold on.
This one's too big on the right. That's one.
Yeah, hold on. Let me see. But there's a way you can reduce that size, right? Hold on.
Control zoom, maybe. Zoom out. Make it smaller. Oh.
What is this thing here?
That's supposed to be my tabs. that I have.
Okay, you put them on the side.
Yeah.
Anyway, well, get that thing to fit the screen now, Stan. Cannot deal with it like that. You can zoom in or zoom out or do zoom fill screen or something.
Hold on 1 second. I don't know how to do it right now. I don't know how to do it right now.
Okay. Okay, listen. Wait. Hold on. Okay, I think it's good now. Almost. Almost now. It's missing a tiny little bit, right? Okay, just let go. Don't worry about it. That's fine. Okay, yeah, we could leave. Yeah, make it a little bit bigger like that. Okay, cool. Cool. Okay, we're fine. You even still have a little bit of real estate here. Can even bring this. Why don't you close? You have too many things open here. See, they're eating up space. See these guys here? What browser are you using?
The
Chrome?
No, this one here. What do you call it?
Yeah, no doubt. You know what everybody uses? Chrome. Chrome doesn't have all this advertisement stuff here. Yeah, normally you don't have Chrome, right? Or you have it?
I think I have Chrome.
Yeah, normally open this kind of stuff in Chrome is less headache than Microsoft stuff. But anyway, let's just continue. We got time now, sir. So it's a copy. The whole thing is copy and paste. Then, since it's your first time, you should spend some time reading those screens. You get the point? You got to spend some time reading all of this text. But we cannot go through the whole thing. So copy for me the second line, yum install minus blah, blah, blah. After you do the sudo though, you didn't do the sudo yet.
And I wrote sudo, I'm gonna delete. Oh yeah, okay. Let's see.
Remember, I did do that sudo. You didn't do it yet, sir.
It is, it's sudo I right here, it's right here.
Yeah, type, hit enter. Did you notice you typed it different?
Oh no, let me see.
No, please, you don't copy the whole thing. Often, generally, you'll be doing line by line. You have to understand what you're doing before you can now start to copy the whole thing. Do the sudo. The sudo is just right from the top. I showed you, we mentioned sudo because it's so important. Sudo switches you to become root. That's what it is. Check that box so it doesn't show that anymore.
Click OK.
Check the box that says, wait. Did you see, read the sign there? What does it say?
Actions of mouse, but please assign right click action. So paste.
No. Go back to the top. It says middle click to paste. Do you have a real mouse or not?
No, I'm using no.
Please, next time use a real mouse. You go way faster than using that laptop thing. That's why they have a real mouse. You see there? Can you middle click on your laptop?
Yeah.
Okay, middle click then. So right now, every time you need to paste, just do middle click. That's what that thing is saying. Next, please, next time use a real mouse. Otherwise, you drive me crazy with those things. The password is Oracle. But to paste on that thing, you use the middle mouse. It will paste right away without asking that question. Then, when you go to copy there, just highlight, do Control C. You don't have to keep doing that other stuff. And then, listen, you cannot work like this. It will take us forever, and I'm sitting and I'm watching you painfully like that. When you come back there, I want to see you do middle, click your middle button. It told you that. If you click your middle button, it will just paste without doing that stuff.
No, I'm clicking it. It's not.
Yeah, because you don't have a middle button. Are you sure your laptop has a middle button?
I don't know what you mean. Like it has the pad, and I'm clicking in the middle.
Yeah, forget the pad. That pad. Listen, you know what they call it a laptop? It's not really for professional work. You're working on your laps. To do the real thing, right? Let me tell you, son, you need a keyboard, a real keyboard. You need a real mouse if you want to be productive. Because they cannot call you somewhere to do something and you're doing that stuff that you're doing like that. Because that is so lame. You don't do that.
Yes, sir.
And then when you highlight that thing, you go to Control C. You need to pay attention when you do that, and it comes up next time. It's telling you the easiest way to do that thing. It is Control C or Shift something, or they don't expect you to every time you click a window come. Do you know how painful it would be? Hold on. They did not do that yet. The other one did not finish now. Do cancel. Don't you see that thing is still running? You gotta wait for it to finish, and you see it's showing some errors. So you gotta read that carefully. What do those errors mean? Do they mean you do something? Expand that window over this other thing till it gets close to the black side, please. Yeah, somewhere. Yeah, no, not that far. Okay, yeah, somewhere there. Now paste the other thing. I want to paste with. Okay, paste that other one that you copied now. Hold on. Just hold on right there. Do you see the shortcut how to do that up there?
Shift and insert, yeah.
Yeah. So you better do shift and insert than to do this thing that you're doing like that. Then hold on right here.
Oh,
You don't pay attention. Do it again. Now, read that screen. See the last thing at the bottom. See, often, right, let me tell you, when you're studying something new like this, the first time, take time to read all on that screen. Once. You never have to read it again. But if you see the last thing at the bottom, say, do not show this message again. If you check that box. You see, because you're not reading, you will not catch that. Hit enter. Okay? And later on, I'd like you to read the whole of that thing. The pre-install package. If you read the second paragraph just below where you are, it says the pre-install package will meet the necessary configuration task for you. Hold on, you're going so fast, I'm reading. I guess you don't even know where I'm reading, right?
No, I'm reading right here.
Yes, so I am here. You gotta read this stuff. You gotta know what it's doing, what it's saying. Hold on 1 second. Well, can we get rid of this thing? Yes, like that. What about this one here? You don't need this thing. Click on that. Now you have more space. And what about this one over here? Do we need this thing? Okay, maybe that one has to be there. Okay. Just hold on, sir. That's why I stress to have 2 monitors so we don't go through painful things like this. Okay, just 1 second. Let me see. Okay, you can see the whole text now. Okay, I want you to read that whole thing. But most importantly, the thing we installed, this thing. You see how the name ends?
Yeah.
So instead of calling that full name, we just call it pre-install package. A package is a software. This is a software you are installing. You use Yum to install software. So we're installing this software from Oracle. And here it tells us the version of Oracle that we are running. See that section there, right? It tells us what version of Oracle we are running right now. Very, very important. So as you go, they're just calling it the pre-installed package or software. And they say that will meet the necessary configuration task for you. And whilst the name implies it's for installing Oracle 11, it's also a useful starting point to prepare your system for installing other software. Using the RDBMS 11G blah blah, you can complete most of the pre-installation configuration task. Cool. And now there's something. The RPM package manager. Watch this thing. You study Linux, you're going to see this thing, RPM. It stands for Red Hat Package Manager. See, RPM stands for this. A package is a software. In Linux language, they're called software packages. Okay? So that's all I wanted to catch that. So as you go further, whenever you hear RPM, they're talking about the Red Hat Package Manager. It's a common one. All flavors of Linux use it to install software. Cool. But most importantly,
Prof, I can't see your page, please.
Hold on. But are you seeing my screen? Oh, you seeing it now? Sorry, I actually thought the screen was being shared. Sorry. Oop, and it's still recording. Can you see my screen now? Hello?
I can see it now, thank you.
Okay. So, yeah, I actually thought the thing was being shared. Oh, a long time wasted, almost 30 minutes. So, right here, the pre-install package, let me see. I'm putting it now to a smaller monitor. Okay, listen, that package, it does the following. That thing that you run, that Yum install, it does this. It causes the download and installation of various software packages and specific versions needed for the Oracle installation with package dependencies resolved. Number 2, it creates the user Oracle and the groups OInstall and DBA, which are the defaults used during database installation. It modifies kernel parameters in the etc syscontrol.conf to change settings for shared memory, semaphores, the maximum number of file descriptors, and so on. It sets hard limits and soft shell resources or resource limits in that file, and then it sets NUMA off. Now on your own later you could just Google what is NUMA off, what is hard and software share resources. Just Linux things that make the Linux work. But as a DBA, nobody's going to be asking you all of that stuff. But if you're doing Linux system administration, then you have to know those things detailing. Okay. Now, if you didn't have the root user, blah, blah. Now we have done that, installed that, it did all of those things. Now it created a user called Oracle. And you logged in as the user called DBA. And everybody in class knows the DBA password is Oracle. So what I want you to do now is to change those passwords so that they belong to you. So what you need to do, I want you to copy this thing, paste it. This is how you change a password. This is the command to change password in Linux. So if you paste that, it's going to ask you for your new password. And you enter Stan's password that you use every day. So tomorrow you don't call me that you forget your password. So change the passwords. Copy that. Nope. I see you copy too much.
Not bad.
So you go over there and you paste it. In the Linux machine, right?
Yeah. No.
Click in there. I didn't see you click in there yet.
No, I guess it didn't copy.
Okay. Control C.
Control, yeah, that's what I pressed. It didn't work.
Yeah, now you copy something different. Listen, let me tell you something about that window, that Mobile X. Once you do this, once you click on anything there, you've copied that already. Once you highlight this thing, you've copied that thing. So like now, if I hit my middle button, I paste it. See, I'm hitting my middle button. That's why I ask you if you have the middle button. So once you highlight something that is copied, so go copy it again.
Yeah.
In this class, right, if you have trouble copying and pasting, often I can just even say goodbye if you cannot copy and paste, because the entire class is copy and paste. If you have trouble copying and pasting, it's a nightmare.
It's not pasting.
You just copied something else again. You know why? You don't have, tomorrow get your real mouse, buddy. Oh, except you master your mouse pad to the point you can use it. But I haven't seen anybody who mastered that thing so well. I've seen a few people who can do anything on that mouse pad, but I, for one, I don't use it. It just gets me frustrated. But if you learn it so well, you can.
But it's not copying. I don't know what's going on.
Okay, hold on. Let me copy and paste for you and you watch. Just let go. In 1 minute, copy this. Control C. I just copied it, and I come over here on the other side, and I press my middle button. It pastes like no man's business. Hit enter. Now enter your password, your daily password, so you remember. We're going to do many passwords here, so you better use the same password everywhere so it's not trouble. Okay, so now we need to change the Oracle password according to that same note. So now you cannot copy and paste, becomes a nightmare. So you could do this and you change this to change that to Oracle. Hit enter. Enter the same password you enter the top. Just keep them the same so you'll be able to remember them. Cool. Then go back, copy the other long line. That's some set of packages we need to install. Yum install something there. Nope, you just copied something. Listen, on this screen in Mobile X, once you see a line, you see the line highlighted at the top?
Yeah.
You need to just copy that line.
So what am I not doing correct? Because when I click.
Hey, just get to know your mouse. I don't know your mouse.
Once I click here, nothing copies. It's pasting on me.
Because you're not doing it correctly. I can do it on my mouse. It just boom, paste.
That's why I do it like this. This works better for me.
Yeah, but find a way to just paste it instead of, you know how many seconds you waste? By the time you finish the thing, right, you copy and paste 100 times. That would be equivalent to maybe 1 hour extra that you spend doing that stuff. Okay, go to the next. Now I will expect you, now that we've done a little bit of Linux, you have to now be able to read this thing and you just copy and paste. The things you need to copy and paste, I have them in black boxes.
Mm-hmm.
If not, I will say, okay, do this, copy and paste this, do that. So now if you go to the next one, is creating groups. Those ones you can do all of them together because there are many of them. And some of those groups, as we read at the top, have been made. And when you go back to paste it, take note, there's some 5 on that screen, okay?
Nah. So, copy and paste.
Yeah, the other one says they exist, that's fine. So when you do shift insert, it doesn't paste it,
No, when I do that, it doesn't work.
and you cannot find that middle button on that keypad, right? Because if you scroll on that thing, there's a middle button. Either you hold 2 fingers and tap or do something. But if you Google, you're going to find out how it works on your keypad. Middle button is that scrolling button where you scroll up and down.
So when I do that, it just
But instead of scrolling, you hit tap. Anyway, so if you love the keyboard, you don't want a regular mouse and key. Rather, if you love your laptop alone, you have to spend time and learn those things. Those are some of the things you need to do 101. Learn how to copy and paste without the whole world seeing that you're pasting. So later on, you need now to read those things with a little bit of understanding. Go through carefully. As a matter of fact, that particular one I say skip because it's already, yes. You're supposed to add that line where your cursor is right now. So it's there already. So this is VI now. So how do you quit VI? Colon Q.
Is it column Q?
Colon. The colon. Remember, that's what we did this night. We did only half of the night. Colon. You know the colon on your keyboard?
Where is that at?
The 2 dots.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, you're right.
Colon Q.
That's what I'm doing.
And in Linux, if they don't tell you that is uppercase, by default, everything is lowercase. So you go to number 8, disable SE Linux. So later on, I will not be there, so you need to read those things carefully, and you do that entire installation. Read the note. What does the note say?
Edit to Linux. I missed it.
And I say edit to. Hold on. Have you looked there to see what you're editing?
Yeah, it says Linux.
Yeah, so read the notes, right? What is it changing? You have to go there before you do that change. To do changes like this, let me tell you, give you some big warnings. If you ever see that you are doing VI on a file and you are root, because right now you are root, you have to be so careful, because if you mess it up, your Linux machine may not come up again, because you're dealing with the kernel, we're dealing with the engine of that operating system. So you got to read everything carefully, make sure, okay, you understand well before you change it. So like this one is telling you to or disable SE, that's security limit. you're editing, it will be permissive. And you can read from the top. It tells you the three different options. So you need to change that enforcing to.
Will that be done down here?
No, you go
this
to the
one-
word. Go.
This one,
You have to go delete the word.
I'm trying to do that. It won't do it.
What? Hold on. What are you deleting? You're deleting the wrong thing. Did I just see you take a D away or something? Do you for me, sir?
Huh?
Is that what you're supposed to? I don't think you're reading. It is the line. It is the line way, way, way up. Why are you down on a different line?
I clicked on that line, sir.
Your cursor should be on the line. Remember, you're not changing with your mouse. Okay, now let me tell you something. Inside command line, Unix or Linux, your mouse has, you don't just highlight things to the mouse, you think you delete them. No, it is your cursor. That cursor that you see that you can move up and down, that is what actually does effect or does things. So if you need to change that thing, move your cursor there. That is your mouse. You're still on your mouse, sir. Forget your mouse. Just forget mouse does nothing in here. Move your cursor.
Here?
Do you see your cursor?
This is my cursor. This thing with the eye. This is my cursor.
That is your mouse.
So what cursor are you talking about? Because
Your cursor is where you can start typing.
this thing that I'm moving right here, this is not my cursor?
Which, okay, move it, let me see.
You don't see it moving in circles?
No. Hold on.
Oh.
Is it this thing here you call your cursor?
That's what I'm moving.
That is your mouse pointer, sir. Mouse pointer is different. Your cursor is this thing. See this thing here?
No.
See that? That's what they call the cursor. Because a cursor is what shows you where you can type. See, so that's your cursor. So you changing this line, so you move your cursor to the line. And if you look at, we went through some bunch of commands today of VI, and I sent you that little link. So you need to change this word to this word. No, to this word.
To permissive, yes.
Yes. So you stay on this word and you delete that word. How do you delete? X.
Well, that was the problem.
Now you stop right there. Now you need to type that other thing and you hit I for insert.
Oh.
You gotta delete that. Yeah, hit A for append. Did you see insert at the bottom of the screen? Hold on, sir.
Sir.
Don't just run. When you go back, you were here. Hit I and listen. You need to observe from the beginning. If not, you will not learn much. Hit A for append.
Okay.
Do you see insert appear at the bottom of the screen?
Yes, sir.
It wasn't there before, you remember?
Mm-hmm.
It means now, whatever you type, you are adding it to this text. Hit escape and notice that insert will disappear.
You said hit what?
Escape.
Oh, okay.
You see, it goes away, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then hit I. You see it, insert appears. But notice your cursor stands on the same spot. Do you see that?
Yes.
Hit escape again. So now you're in that command mode. Hit A and notice where your cursor would be. No, hit escape. Okay, hold on. Hit, wait, I wanted to move that. Hit A. At this point, the proper thing to hit is A. Because when you hit A, your cursor moves ahead. And insert appears at the bottom. You notice that, right?
Yeah.
Means you want to start typing from that place. So do the thing, permissive. And then, how do you get out of insert mode?
Escape.
Yep. And How do you save? Colon W Q.
And I can do that from where I'm at right now?
Yes, you do that in the command mode. You do it when you don't see insert.
Alright. And you said column W.
W means write, Q means quit. Okay, that was just right. Now do colon again.
Alright.
Q means you quit, VI. Now you're saving your changes. Or rather, you saved already, you quit. Cool. So that's your first thing you've done in VI. There's a whole lot of things you're going to do like that. What's the next step? You're following that document step by step. Don't you just skip one part of the document. That's why I really wanted to read. You don't have to rush.
No, this is where I was at, and I'm going here.
Okay, after I finish that, what did he say next?
Disable firewall. Right?
Yeah.
No.
Read the thing now, my man. Come on. The one at the top. You just skip piece of it.
This?
If that's what you do, right, you never get Oracle successfully installed. Where you just left at the top for the SE Linux, you did not finish that. Or you did, and I didn't touch it. Go back.
What part are we on? This part? I just wrote in permissive, so where are we at? Here?
Did you notice here, sir, that it says once the change, did you see this part?
Yeah, I see.
Once the change is complete, restart the server or run the following command. Yeah, don't skip. Listen, you got to read every line. You do this as slowly as you can, reading every line. And that's it. If you don't do that line, all the stuff you did would not be in effect. So now you go to the next one. You read that line. Then that one just stops the firewall. After that, the next section says skip. Okay, paste that one. Now you can paste without that thing, right?
Yeah.
So how are you pasting? Is it with the shift thing or
Shift
what?
insert.
Okay.
This one says skip.
Skip that section. Later I can just read that. Then number 11. Yes, you may have to do that number 11.
Oops.
Read the thing first, right? See what it says. What does it want?
Session. It said if this line doesn't exist, to add it.
Yep.
I don't see it, so I'm gonna add it.
If it doesn't exist, where?
That's a good call. I mean, I don't know. Excellent.
You do the VI. Listen, see the note, right? Number 11. Check /etc/pamd login to see if the following line exists. If not, add it. I could have just ended there, but I went ahead again as a bonus. I put VI down there. So once you read that line, every person who's done this kind of computer thing, they know it means you have to look into that file. Because it check that file. And how do you check the file? You check the file with VI or with cat or with more. But you do VI so that if it's not there, you add it. So at the bottom, I put the VI for you to put it and check to see if that line is in there. So you look there and see if you have a line like that one. There are many sessions there, but is there one that has
This here, this says open. Yeah, it says here it's open though.
It says what?
It says it's here.
The line is there?
At the top.
Where at the top?
Is this not it?
Look at the one down there. It doesn't have opening, and the one that it has, that's down there. So I'll add it. They did not say it has that and then with something behind it. I will add the one that they want me to put. When they say add, they did not say take away. Because take away now means I would delete that word open, right? When they say add, so I'm going to just add that line in there. Except if I really know Linux, I understand what that file is doing, then maybe I may be doing that, but I'll just follow what they want me to do. And when they say add, most of the time you're putting it at the end. We saw a command how you can open a line at the bottom. It's O. Just type O.
Just type O.
O takes you to insert mode and it takes you to the next line. And you just copy that thing and you paste it there.
Oh.
Yep, but I advise you get a real mouse, and if possible, get you a real keyboard or something. If you want to work at a reasonable speed.
And then hit enter.
Yeah.
Oh wait, I gotta check off and insert.
So you are in insert mode. How do you get out of insert mode?
Escape.
But guys, just hold on. If I'm you and I pasted that file, look at the screen where you pasted. If I'm you, I paste that thing, I'll keep my eyes open and I look there and I realize, they're all aligned except mine. It will cost me nothing to align that thing with the rest. Move your cursor with your arrow keys, right? Yeah. You take it to the first one. Move the first one. What are we doing?
What is going on? You want me to move this dash, right? That's what I was thinking to do. Like,
did you put the dash or it was there? You don't move. You don't even dare move something you didn't put now, my man. No, you still have a space near the other one. If you move that thing, they'll both align, really. Okay, then maybe move the other one. Yeah, if I do something like this, I would make sure I look at the rest. I keep my eyes open. Okay, mine looks funky. I'm going to fix it look like the other ones.
Is it fine like this?
What do you think?
I mean, to me, it's fine. I would.
Yeah, it looks the same like the others. It's just organization now, Stanley or Stan. You okay? So I'll exit and quit and exit.
You said exit.
I would.
Out of insert.
Save and quit. Save and quit is :WQ. Whoa. So after this, later on, I wanted to go through. Remember, I sent you some YouTubes on VI. But this is VI here. You need to know at least this. Then you go down to the next section before. 1134. There you go. Go down to the next section, set up Oracle users startup script. So like you need to read this thing, please. I don't just want you to skip the text. Then it's not just doing this stuff, right? Not just copy and paste. You need to read it and you understand. If you don't get something, you can write it down. So next time we come, you can ask, okay, what does this mean? What is this? What is that? So you need to read this thing and you go down and try to understand, at least get the big picture of what you are doing. What is the startup script? I try to explain it there so you can read that. And if it doesn't make too much sense, you may Google one. So you ask later on that you didn't understand this part or this step, then we can explain. But that one, guys, that is the .bash profile. It's the most important script in your Linux environment. That's what sets your .bash profile. It sets your Oracle home, your Oracle seed, your Oracle base. It's all configured by that .bash profile. So you must know how to do this and understand what's inside. So go down a little bit. Let me see before I leave.
Go down on the.
Yes. No, on the document.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you later on read all of that stuff, but this section will require you, if you read there in red, it says exit from root user, log in as the Oracle user, and edit your startup script, also known as the .bash profile accordingly. So go back to the Linux machine. Let me tell you what you do. On the Linux, on the machine on the other side, I want you now to log in as Linux, as the Oracle user. I want you to create another session for Oracle. Yeah, do that before I go. That's a little tricky part.
So you said log it. What you said do?
Now, go to sessions at the top of yes, SSH. Enter that your IP address 192.16.2.80 or something like that.
Oh, so you don't know.
68.6.
This one?
No, your IP address of the Linux machine. You're trying to log into that same machine, but as root, but as Oracle. 688.
Oh, I got it here. Oh.
.2.80. Then check on the box, specify username. Oracle, type Oracle. And hit OK or hit enter. It will ask you for the password, and the password is whatever password you gave it. Remember, you did change password somewhere. Cool. So just click yes. Just enter the same password here so you don't forget it. This one just saves the password for MobileX. Enter that here. Okay. Now you're logged in as Oracle, and almost never would you even log in as that BDBA again. So from now hence, you'll do everything as Oracle. Because that's the main user who owns the Oracle database. So when we say log into Oracle, you're logging in as this user, not the BDBA one. So then you go back to the document now. If you look at the document, it starts by doing, if you notice there, I shouldn't have put, see where I say SU space Oracle?
Yeah.
It's assuming that you were root and you were doing that. So don't even worry about that. Skip that particular line. I should take that line out. But now you do the VI. You do the VI. See the line that says VI?
Yeah.
Yep. Copy that whole line. Okay, after you do that, and then this is probably the toughest part of the whole thing. So you paste that. Wherever you copy. Good. So that is your .bash profile right there. Hold on. After when you log in, do this. Take this thing off. Click on this thing here, it will give you more space. You see this?
Yeah.
Yeah. Click on that, otherwise it's taking space there for nothing. So now that your .bash profile looks like this, and the note says copy the script in the box below to the bottom of your .bash profile. Remember I did vi .bash profile. This is the path to .bash profile. That's why I put that path so you can find this file. Okay, but this is the file itself. This is not the file, this is just directories to go to the file. So I say copy. So you're going to copy this whole thing and you're going to paste it under this path here. So copy that whole text, do that part, and then I can go, and then you do the rest later. Go down and down and down. I say it's a black box. I say like 3 pages. Yep, ends right there. So copy that. Then go to the document, and you move your cursor till you are under the word export. How do you add a line below? O, lowercase o. Just type O.
Oh, just something.
Then paste that thing that you copied. And that's it. Later on, I know I tried explaining this the other day, but I'm sure it didn't mean anything to you then. We'll talk about this later. But this is the file that will set your environment to install Oracle and to run Oracle. So, save and quit. How do we save and quit again?
Column WQ.
First, escape, sir.
Oh, yeah, escape.
Did you notice you just type something there?
Yeah, I did. The 3.
Yeah. How do you delete that? X.
X, all right.
When we finish, you really want to get a piece of paper and you write all the all the VI commands. But you need to know those commands, the X, DD, and escape, and all those. You need to know when to do them.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
Prof, can I ask a quick question?
Yeah.
Where it says login as Oracle, wasn't it enough to just do SU space minus space Oracle?
Yeah,
you
can do that too, but that is not logging in. That is switching user.
Oh, I had that problem. I went all the way, then I had to come back and.
Because when you do that, you cannot install Oracle when you do switch user.
All right.
Graphical user will not open.
Mm-hmm.
You must log in.
Right. There's a difference. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
Stanley, go back to the note. It says, after editing the .bash profile, you must source. It must be sourced for changes to take effect. Do you see that?
Yes.
And I did CD and I hit enter at the top. Remember we did that CD in class this evening and I explained like 1,000 times. That CD takes you to your home directory. When you type CD, you don't put a directory, it means you want to go to your home directory. And because your .bash profile is in your home directory. So you go there and you can source the .bash profile in 3 different ways. By typing the word source.bash profile, or the second one down there, down here is, you see this one down here, right? Is period space period / .bash profile. Or you just enter period space .bash profile. Whichever one you love, but they will all source your .bash profile. So you type one of them and you source your .bash profile. For changes to take effect. Which one is easy?
This one is easy.
Yeah. So, well, from, okay. Yep. Paste that. Now, once you hit it, do you notice your prompt changed?
Yes.
Okay, now, listen. This white thing is a cursor. This thing here, that is your prompt. This is where you are. See, this will always be there. That's like your prompt. Then your cursor is there. So as you did that, it added your Oracle seed because I have that inside the .bash profile that I want this prompt to appear like this. So that when I look at it, I will always remember that I am connected as Oracle. And this is the server name, and this is the Oracle instance name. You could set this prompt to look any way you want. You see the default one, use that. You gave the machine name, but put that. This thing, you see that little Do you remember how this thing is called?
This?
That sign.
This sign? No.
It's called a tilde. It's on your keyboard. Tilde, T-I-L-D. Tilde. Some people call it tilde. So, believe it or not, this sign is equivalent to your Oracle Home. So if you type something like this, CD, and you do that, means you want to go to your Oracle Home. No, not Oracle Home, excuse me, to your user home. Say, for example, watch this. If I type that, I am in the root directory. If I want to go to my user home, I can type this CD tilde. Hit enter, PWD. You see where I am? Because I am Oracle, so my Oracle, my user, my home directory will have that word Oracle, and it will be inside home. Every user in the Linux machine has a folder inside this directory with their name. So that bad boy means that thing represents this whole thing. But if I also were here, present working directory, I am here. If I type CD, I don't even enter the tilde, it takes me back to my home. You see that? That's why at that top there I was asking you, do you know why I typed that CD? So CD, you don't specify directory, you go straight to your home directory. So from there, next thing is to test some email thing to see if you can receive email from this computer. So you're going to copy this whole thing, run it, then you change this thing, you put like your email here, and then your phone number here, and you run this, it should send you an email or a text message. That's just to test that this machine can send you an email. Or you can use, so we have two software. There's one called Mutt, there's another one called just Mail, or Send Mail. Yeah, this one called Send Mail. So this one you should be able to send you email, but you need to copy this line, do that testing. Then number 14, I say skip that line, check configuration, skip that, we don't need that for now. Then we go down to number 16. You download and install Oracle software. So you start by making some directory. And when you type this sudo, do that, it's going to ask you for your password. But if you type this one, the next is not going to ask you because it now knows your password. Then you cd to a directory you just made. Then we use, this is a Linux command to download files from the internet. wget, and you're downloading that file from some Dropbox somewhere. You download the next file. Then the next section, the two files must be renamed. So we use mv to rename files. I use that command today. Then after that, you unzip the files because they are zip files. And then after that, time to install Oracle. Right here, you fire this guy up, it's going to bring up the Oracle Universal Installer. I said this one or that one, but I should actually take it. We'll never use this guy anymore. I leave this here just because you all see this in the Oracle exam. So you do that, install Oracle, then you follow the steps here. You're going to see screen after screen. And you look here, it's telling you do this, do that, do that. Then the hardest part, you're going to get an error. You're going to get some error. Where is that? Is it that error here? No. You're going to see this error when you check. You just do ignore and you keep going. Then the hardest part, you're going to encounter an error at about 86% or something. And when you see that error, the solution is here. You need to do VI on a file. So this file has some error inside. So you do that VI and you see the file, you see a line like this. I tell you it is line number 176. So you go to that line and you're going to add this tiny little thing behind the line. Then you go back and the thing would work. I purposely leave this just to make sure everybody knows how to play with VI. Because if you don't do it correctly, the only thing I'll do later is roll your machine back to the beginning. You go back to the beginning and start. But if this area fails, it's really hard to correct the whole thing. Cool. After that, the rest is no problem. You can do it. So, but since it's your first time, try to read everything and understand. And if something you don't understand, write it in your notebook so that next time we meet, you say, okay, hey, let's go back to page this. I didn't understand this. Now we can explain. So, but all the same, you are right here. Also, you did social.bash profile. So if you do Oracle Seed, Oracle Home, Echo Oracle Home. Echo is just to see. Echo does nothing. So I do Echo Oracle Home, it shows me. So this is my Oracle Home. This came from the .bash profile. Same thing as we can do Echo Oracle Base. Where is that base thing? Base. Hit enter. It shows my Oracle Base. Same thing we could do Echo Oracle SID, Oracle Seed. Our Oracle Seed is class T. So you just check this to see, okay, if I see this, hooray, they're in my .bash. Then test this thing to see if you can send an email and blah, blah, blah. Good night, Stanley. Let me go.
Good enough, sir.
We got enough. So just try the best you can. If it fails, tomorrow we would continue.
Recording stopped.
All right. Yep. Bye-bye. Let me go. Let me go. Let me go. Let me go. Right now. Right now. Everybody could